Ladies.
It's our first episode.
Okay, welcome to Love That For Us podcast. I'm Christie.
I'm Katey.
I'm Megan.
And we're the trio. We are three besties.
Love that for us.
Love that for us.
Yeah, so why don't we share how we all first met each other and this beautiful union formed?
Okay, Megan, you can go first.
I'm going to start, Christy. So, okay. So, the first time
you guys, this
Christy,
is a good one, so prepare.
this is a good one. So, all right. Here, I don't even know where to begin. Okay. So, I'll begin it at the bar. So, there was one night where Christy had a roommate, Lexi, who we will get to later because that's how
Lex.
Christy and Katey. Shout out Lexi. That's Christy and Katey's thing. But so I had briefly known Lexi, not really well, but I had just met her a few times through mutual friends, and I ran into her at a bar. And so I was outside on the patio and really excited to see her. And I was like, oh my God, hi, trying to make small talk with her. We were talking and standing there and having drinks together, and it was a great time. And all of a sudden, this dark-haired girl just appeared out of nowhere, and she rushes over to Lexi and grabs her and looks at her and is literally like, what are you doing? We've been looking for you. Where have you been? And Lexi's like, oh my God, hi, oh, I've just been standing here, this is Megan. And I was like, hi, I'm Megan. And this bitch looks at me and goes, yeah, hi. And literally was just like, all right, goodbye. And literally was like, Lexi, we're leaving. And just dragged Lexi away. And I was like, oh my God, who is that? And I was with another friend, and I looked at her like, oh my God, that bitch. Okay. And so I was like, all right. I didn't even know her name. Was like, okay. And then later on we had mutual friends, and so I was like, oh, that was the girl. Gotcha. Okay. And what was it? It was Lexi's going away party, right?
Mm-hmm, yes.
So Lexi moved, and she had.
And keep in mind, we also that night had found out that we had a mutual friend, shout out Reed Henderson, because
yes,
Megan and I and Katey too, we all know Reed, but from literally different walks of life. So we found out that we both knew Reed mutually, and Megan had just been in Vegas with Reed. So anyway, we had kind of bonded over that over the couch. Sorry, I interrupted you, but
yeah. So that was I think that was the beginning, because that was even before we went out for Lexi's going away party. That was just when we all first met up at Katie's house. So that was our first conversation. Then we all went to the bar for the
had way too much to drink.
Had way too much to drink. But before we got to the bar, me, Katey, and Christy piled in her Audi that we also had the same car, and it was hilarious. It was this A4 Audi, and
rest in peace, Petunia.
Rest in peace, because everybody thinks that you're a rich bitch if you walk around with an Audi, and it's fucking not true, because both of our cars were pieces of shit, and they would stall in the middle of the street and break down on the side of the road.
I'm crying, literally, though.
It was awful. Don't recommend Audis. They're not cool. And
fucking Audi.
So we all get in her Audi, and I saw she had this really cute red Michael Kors purse. Oh! And so I was like, oh my God, I love your purse. And she looks at me dead in the face, and she goes, oh, thanks. I sold my dog for it. Who is this bitch? I couldn't get over it. And I was like, who is this girl? I'm so confused. And then we went to the bar and literally hit it off, and have been attached at the hip ever since.
Very true.
What a great story.
Katey was there too, but
I don't remember most of that time.
We were all really, really fucked up that night too. at one point we were all on the dance floor. Like I have this like vivid memory of all of us on the dance floor, and we're each all making out with somebody different. And there's like this, keep in mind, we're at this shitty bar in our hometown of Ventura County. That's not our hometown, but Ventura County is where we live. And then what was I saying? Sorry, I have ADHD, guys. I'm not on my Adderall. But we went there, and like they have shitty karaoke, and it was like someone was singing shitty karaoke, and everyone was making out with somebody, and I was like, it was just like so gross.
We also found videos like of all of us singing "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" terribly on stage the next day,
and like very, very drunk. And if you want, we will post it on our Instagram. So follow us on our Instagram page. By the way, it's at Love That For Us _podcast. But we can totally link that up. But I do whip my boob out. Don't judge me. So I'll put a little
put a sticker on it.
I'll put a sticker over my left tit because it might make an appearance of its own.
Yeah.
You know, it's bound to happen. That leads me into our first time meeting, Christie.
Yeah, we'll go around. Like, now you do, Christie.
So, me and Christie met through Lexi again. Lexi's just like the glue, I guess. You know, but
Lexi and Katey have been best friends since they were like, what, 2?
Yeah, like I was like a year old. So, but yeah, so Lexi brought Christie over and we went to my pool. And it's just chill night, just the 3 of us in the jacuzzi. And then all of a sudden, Christie just starts untying Lexi's swimsuit and throws it in the fucking pool.
Top and bottom. And
I don't have a pool like in a backyard. This is a community pool, okay? And so she just, you know, does that, and it's funny, but I'm like, damn, thinking to myself, like, shit, like, if I become close friends with this girl, like, is that gonna happen to me? Is my body gonna be exposed? And yes, that's exactly what happened.
That's the truth.
The answer is yes. Like, you will end up naked.
Yeah, like many people will see your parts of your body. You know,
no, let's let everyone know. It's like the best and the worst talent that Christie is the queen of blackmail.
Yeah, true.
But it makes for extremely funny content.
But we like willingly give her the content.
Yeah, don't make it sound like I force it. Like literally, like the girl's like, I have a video.
It's just the talent is catching it at the right time. That's what it is. It's that you always catch it at the right time.
I don't know. I'm a woman of many talents.
The female David Dobrik.
The female. I prefer to call the female David Dobrik. Catch my vlogs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like letting Christie like film your boobs is just like a rite of passage to being her friend.
Yeah,
if I
haven't seen your tits, then you're probably not my friend. Like, Katey often has her face in my boobs and vice versa.
True, yeah. We've motorboated each other several times.
We have played Naked Chicken, and then we made out. Too much jungle juice was involved, people, but I would say that was the first time Katey and I got like close, was when we had our tongues in each other's mouths and we were naked playing chicken.
Okay, let's go back to how Katey met you though, and everybody.
Well, that's pretty much the whole story of me and Christie.
Well, what was your first time meeting?
Just that was our first time.
Just that was it.
In the pool,
and then I literally, and then Lexi and I, this was when Lex and I lived together too, when Lex and I lived in our old condo in Thousand Oaks, and we just like left like shortly after, and then Katey just started sleeping over at our house like every weekend, and so yeah, and then Katey and I went and saw Mamma Mia together, and we got Mexican food, and I fucking hated that Katey wanted Mexican food, but I didn't want to tell her I hated Mexican food, so I sat there and I forcibly drank a shitty margarita,
And you ordered chicken tenders.
oh
my god.
I
And I was like, why
You're
did
just
we
a
come here for you to
disgrace.
order chicken tenders?
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
That's the Gemini in me and Katey is the Mexican food. Always. I just
Ew,
always need a
dude.
burrito.
But
yeah,
I can't. I don't get how people like Mexican food. And what's worse is that I'm a quarter Hispanic people. So
yeah.
you would think that like I'd fuck with beans and rice and fucking chimichangas and shit. I don't fuck with it. Stay away from me. And I don't like tequila either. I don't know if that's really considered like a Mexican dish, but fuck that.
It's tequila.
Is it a Mexican drink? Like Mexican
I
food
think
in the
so.
Mexican food like aisle?
Yeah, that's why you get bomb margaritas when you go to like authentic Mexican places.
I also like maybe just was born hating it because I knew it would fuck me up. It's like every time I've had tequila, I've been vomiting.
Yeah,
My brain's
tequila
out.
hits hard.
Fuck that. But yeah, as for me and Katey, like same story, and then Katey and I just like bonded shortly over time. And then like we were in the same group chat with Lexi, just me, Katey, and Lexi, and it was our group chat poons because Lexi and I we refer to our vaginas as our poon. So then we were like, Katey, poon, and then Katey was like poon, and then we were like poon. So then we named our chat poon, and Katey and I just like chit chatted in there casually with Lex, and then yeah, Megan and Katey, how'd you guys meet?
Well, Megan and I have actually known each other since like the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
But we're never friends.
Actually,
like,
did
we
you
knew
go
each
to
other?
you went to 2nd grade with me too, I think. I think we were both in 2nd on.
Yeah,
which is
probably.
like crazy to think about because like we knew each other forever and like we just never were in the same friend group.
Yeah.
But what was weird was we had a lot of like mutual friends or like we just knew it. I mean, we went to the same school for like practically like more than half of our lives. So we knew all the same people. And it was like a friend of a friend, same thing, kind of just like reintroduced me, invited me to a party at Katey's house. And I ended up going. And it was just like so much fun to like be with all these like different people, but also like see Katey, who I like had never like really like hung out with in school, but knew. And then I think what really did it for me though, Katey, was when that other friend of all, like it was just a big group of like a bunch of different people in and out. So there were like different people all the time. But I think what did it for me was when it was my birthday and it just so happened that like all of my friends were out of town. My cousin was out of town and no one was going to be like doing anything for my birthday, my 21st birthday. And I was like so bummed about it. And someone was just like, you should just like go like hang out at Katey's. Like they'll do your birthday thing with you. And I was like, I don't know. I don't even like know them really. And then you guys were like so inviting. And then I just ended up hitting it off with Katey and like we've been together ever since. And it was a great 21st birthday.
I'm glad. Yeah, I used to have kickbacks in my garage like all the fucking time.
You baddie.
Mm-hmm. And well, it's just because I wasn't 21 yet, so and everyone else was, so I was like, don't go out to the bar. Come hang out with me in my garage.
Yeah. Come kick it in my trap house.
That was the birthday that I woke up the next morning with next to a burrito. Just so everyone knows.
That's so the Del Taco.
It did.
What a gem.
I just remember like someone being like, everyone was coming over and someone was like, can I bring Megan? I haven't heard that name in years. I was like, but fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
So I'm glad it all worked out. And then we all kind of became close after Christie, after you moved back home.
Yeah, so I moved to North Carolina for 6 months. I have family out there. And honestly, if you're from Ventura County, you know what a shithole it is here. And sometimes you just got to escape it. It gets so old. So I left. And as I said before, I kept in contact with Katey through like a mutual chat and like a mutual snap. Megan and I continued to stay really close. We talked on the phone constantly. Like, I feel like we turned to each other for a lot of like emotional support. Because our Megan and I, Katie's like the really smart one of the group. Like, Katie's got her shit together. Megan and I are like kind of stupid. So, and we're always finding ourselves in dumb shit.
Yeah.
So Megan and I, like, when I was in North Carolina and she was, you know, back here in Ventura County, we just would call each other and be like, I'm a fucking idiot. No, guess what? I'm a bigger fucking idiot. And so we just kept in contact like that. And then I moved home actually a year ago last week. And I went to Vegas to stay with Lexi actually. And I called Megan and said, I'm going to come down for the weekend. Can I stay with you? And I want to surprise Katey and the whole group of friends that we hung out with before I moved. They were going to a frat party. And so nobody knew except Megan that I was going. So I came down and then I surprised the rest of the group before we got to the party because we drove separately. And then I walked in, I surprised Katey at the beer pong table and I hadn't seen her in, 6 months. So it was really, really fun. And then we spent the whole next year up until now together, inseparable. Like, we're the three best friends. Like, we talk all day, every day. Like, they're my very best friends. So getting all sentimental, but I love you bitches. My freaking ride or dies.
So our group chat name is BYOG. And I think it's appropriate to explain what it means.
Absolutely.
For anyone who would wonder, it means bring your own gator. Yes.
As in alligator.
And can I tell a story about the gator?
So
one time we decided, the three of us, before quarantine, we used to like get lunch or get dinner like routinely together. And now we're just on the phone all the time. But so we had gone to Cheesecake Factory, and we're in Cheesecake Factory out on the patio having this like nice, classy dinner, trying to be some classy bitches and have like some champagne and pasta and like just be normal
and like lying to ourselves.
What were we drinking? What were the drinks?
We
got those, I think, did it for us.
Fucking
peach,
daddy, those peach frozen peach,
like Bellinis.
Yeah. Yes, they fucking slap, dude. If you ever go to Cheesecake, people, you gotta get it because it fucking slaps on the tits.
Yeah. So we're drinking those. We're having a good time. We're like dressed nice and like literally just trying to be normal, and it just never works out in our favor. And so we're sitting there and like, I don't even know how it happened, but
I remember.
Okay, go.
Wait, Katey, you tell it because I don't remember. I recall, but like I don't remember specific details because I was laughing so hard.
We were talking about like New Orleans, and I was like, "Yeah, I went to New Orleans. I tried alligator." I was like, I tried a bite of alligator. It tasted like steak, and then that's where it began. I don't know how it formed.
I don't either.
I don't really remember.
What do you remember?
I kind of remember something about me slamming like my silverware on the table, screaming, "This isn't the gator!"
Okay, listen, that's where it escalated to. It went from Katey being like, I tried alligator once, to like literally us disrupting the entire fucking restaurant, slamming like silverware and plates, and Christie being like, the fucking gators.
Yeah, I think I was like, yeah, I've tried alligator, and Christie looks at me, he's like, oh, I have a fucking gator.
And then we just couldn't stop, and like it just went on and on, and we were like, the gators down in the south, we're gonna go gator hunting. And then you fucking start fucking with the waitress, which was just like so over the top, and the poor waitress was laughing, but you were like, do you have any gator on this menu?
And then Katey, okay, and then Reggie. So we have this friend Reggie. Shout out Reg. We love you, Reg. Hi, boo boo. So Reggie was texting Katey that night, and he was like, yo, like, what's good? And then Katey, you know the conversation better, but it had us in fucking tears.
So like he texted me, and I was like, oh, like dang, Reggie wants to hang out, but like we were just getting dinner and then gonna go home, and either Christie or Megan, one of you were like, tell him we're going gator hunting. So I texted him back. I'm like, oh, sorry, I can't hang out tonight. Like, I'm going gator hunting. And he was like, what? I didn't know there were gators over here. I was like, yeah, in Pasadena.
Which, like, if you know Pasadena, anybody who's listening to this, like, there's no fucking water. So,
yeah, we just chose, like, a random
to be
place.
funny. We were like, Pasadena.
Yeah, to be random. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, like, I have to go at night, though. Like, we're going right now. This is the time the gators are sleeping, so we can get them. And he was like, where do you get the stuff? I was like, we just left Big 5 for our spears and boots.
Our spears.
Okay,
and
meanwhile,
boots.
like, literally, one of us sees a spider from 10 feet away, and we're, like, almost in tears, screaming, like, as if we would ever get close to a fucking gator.
Like, true.
That's just what I love about Reg.
He's very gullible.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Love
you, Reg.
Love you, Reg.
And he was like, oh, like, can I come? I was like, we have to leave now. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going gator hunting. I was like, let's hang out tomorrow, though. We'll go to the pool, barbecue. He was like, okay. I was like, BYOG, bring your own gator. And he was like, well, I can't get any gator. I was like, fine, then you can bring the beer.
He's like, cool, I'll bring a 6-pack.
And we were, like, sitting there crying at the table, like, still at dinner.
But the funniest part's the next morning.
No, before
dude.
that, though, before that, literally, do you remember, Christy, you turned around and there were people you knew sitting behind us.
Oh my, yes,
dude. At that point, I got up and left the table. I was like, I cannot. I was crying tears. I had to go to the bathroom and calm down.
I forgot. It was these two guys that I knew from high school that I hadn't seen in forever, and one of them was like, hey, what's up, Christy? Like, it's been so long. And I was like, oh my effing God, because I had been acting a fool at the table.
And they were sitting right behind us.
They were sitting right, and they literally, they knew it was me the whole fucking time, too. And they were watching me make an asshole of myself. And, like, whatever. I mean, I don't really care. But it was funny, though. And then they were like, one of them, he was like, oh, like, I have my own photography business. So, like, here's my business card if you ever want to get, like, your photo taken. And I was like, thanks. And, like, I was just like, I'm going to go now because I've been screaming, give me the gator. Like, the whole fucking time at the waitress, where's my gator?
I think, like, you dropped, like, a steak knife on the floor, too, and it made a loud-ass sound, and you were like, gator!
Oh, my God.
Here comes the gators! Like, it was
we
something
tipped
stupid.
Our waitress and just kept apologizing, but we could not stop laughing. We were crying.
We did.
But also, she was crying. And then she thought we were hilarious, too.
She thought we were funny. And then the next morning, Reggie, like, texted Katey. I don't remember exactly how it happened.
He texted me, like, Wikipedia shots. He was, like, looking up, like, gators in Pasadena. And then he was like, yeah, I called Big 5 to ask about their spears and boots and, like, about the gator hunting. And then the guy got his manager because he thought I was prank calling.
And, like, keep in mind, like, Reggie was, like, hella high. Like, had smoked weed. He was, like, super high. And he's like, yo, my friends, like this is how I would think it would happen.
They just got boots and spears from you guys.
Yeah, my friends said they're all gator hunting in Pasadena. And I guess the manager was like, Pasadena? And he was like, yeah, like, believe it or not. Like, shit, bro. And then he was like, they just said they left there and got their spears and boots. Where can I my spears and my boots? And they were like, dude. And they hung up on him. And then Reggie, we were like, Reggie, I'm sorry. We were fucking with you, dude.
He thought it was funny, though.
He thought it was so funny, though. Reggie thought, like, it was just so funny. Like, and so now we changed our group to BYOG.
Also, if you'd like a nice photoshopped picture of the three of us on gators, we can also do that. Follow our Instagram.
Follow our Instagram again at lovethatforus.podcast, and we will definitely put that up as well because it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, you guys, we're gonna make this this first podcast, kind of just introductions, getting to know us, you know, and it's just funny because if you really think about it, all the people that brought us into that big group we were in, none of us talk to them anymore except our girl Lexi. Like we said, shout out Lex. And I just want to say thank you to all those people we don't talk to anymore, because without you guys, we would not be inseparable. We would not be the trio, and we would not honestly like be the best friends that we are without them.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, everything happens for a reason. I'm just so happy that I have you guys. And I love that for us.
Cutie, I love that for us too. We love that for us.
Me too. And I think like everyone crossed paths like for a reason, like you said, and like it's like almost ironic that like that's true, and but that we're all like
that we're the last
but we
standing.
all really balance each other out, and like we're all different, but like this, we think the same, and like we never fight. We're just like really
never
so happy being the trio. I'm so lucky.
It's like I'll catch myself, like, I don't know about, well, not you guys, but I mean like listeners, I don't know if like you ever just have like friends that you're around and you just feel so completely yourself, and like you're so happy and you feel so loved, and like you feel right where you need to be. Like that's how I personally feel like when I'm with Katey and Megan. Like I am my best version of myself. I have my most fun. Like the way that like our dynamic is like Megan said, we're so different yet so alike, and we really balance each other out. And a lot of people say that groups of 3 don't work out, but it's so crazy because the 3 of us, like, there's never jealousy, there's never any of that. Like, also, I'm just like super obsessed with them. I love them, and like, I don't know, it's like with them there's no jealousy, there's no fighting, there's no competing. And like, you know, if you're a girl, you know what it's like. And it really is that thing. We do never fight. We are always lifting each other up. Like when we're together, we're always like just like up each other's asses, you know. We're having so much fun, and you know, nothing can ever just ruin our moment. So I just feel really grateful for you guys.
Me too.
Oh, yes, I feel the same. And in the next podcast, we're going to go into what makes friend groups work, what makes them not.
Yes.
Today we're going to kind of keep it short and sweet, just get to know us. But...
just some introductions. On this podcast, we are going to be talking about a lot of things, anywhere from G to X-rated. We do cuss a lot. We're vulgar, super crude, but also
but we're also honest.
So if you don't like
real.
cussing,
we're trying to keep it real.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're not trying to be like, you know, we're not trying to freaking sugarcoat anything. And we are very open books. We like talking about every subject. So we're going to talk about literally everything from relationships, ghosting people, what else, ladies? We've talked about so many topics we're going to talk about. We're also going to have special guests,
friends, like
what
we've learned, how we've grown.
Advice on friendships, advice on boys, advice on how to get out of shitty situations with friendships.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about whatever we want. And we like to talk about a lot of different shit because we're crazy fucking bitches. So.
And we're gonna have special guests on. A lot of our friends have already asked if they can be on, so we're really excited. And each of our friends are cool as fuck, and they're funny as fuck, and they're super down to earth, and they're gonna bring a lot of good stories to the table. So if you like what you heard today, definitely follow us on Instagram. The link is in our bio.